In 8 months, you will be blown away by the results that you get.
Level. This is why.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Now it's that time of the year, getting close to fall, that off-season-ish type part of the year where even if you're playing fall ball, you have a lot of time now to really work on development, gaining weight, getting strong in the weight room, everything like that. The reality is this, guys. I can promise you, if you want to get to a big-time school, get to a Division I school, whatever, you can do it. It's the most simple advice I'll ever give. You have to work your tail off every day. The reality is it's easy to say and really hard to do and stay up on. So I'm going to give you guys this 3-step guide for your off season, figuring out not only how to get better in the weight room, but also develop as a baseball player. And in 7 to 8 months, make a big leap in your development and look like a totally different player. No matter if you're a freshman in high school or you're a senior and you're going to be on campus and already committed at some point in the next fall, this is something all of you guys should be doing every fall and winter, is diving in on your development. If you play another sport, that's great as well. That's going to help you too. But if you're not playing another sport, this should be your main focus. And even if you are, this nutrition part is going to be something you really want to focus on. So number one, guys, and this is obvious. I mean, it's weight room. Now, here's the problem. Most guys that go to the weight room aren't actually pushing themselves every day. The reality is, just like studying for a test or doing your homework, you can do your homework well, or you can not do it well. Just like that in the weight room, you can work out well, or you can not work out well. And so the reality is that if you're going to the weight room 4 to 5 days a week, which that's what I recommend, it's also about, are you pushing yourself in the weight room? By the time you get that second, third set of squat or bench press or pull-ups, are you starting to feel that fatigue? Is the body starting to kind of get close to failure? If you're doing that consistently, I promise you in 7 to 8 months, if you follow the rest of this, you're going to look like a totally different guy in the uniform. You're going to be stronger. You're going to be faster. So like I said, in the weight room, it's not just about just kind of going through the motions and getting your workout in. If you notice that you're on like the final set of a set of squats and you're not really struggling with it, the weight's got to go up. If you're not getting that fatigued setting in and getting close to failure, you're not going to be seeing the gains that you should be seeing in the weight room. I hope that makes sense. And that's why every week or two, let's say, a month later, you're a little bit stronger. We got to up the weight. You have to constantly be pushing yourself. And that's going to ring true with everything we're talking about here. In baseball, in the weight room, if something is really easy and you're able to do it easily all times, you're not being challenged anymore. We got to up the difficulty. That's the key to kind of development and getting as far as you could possibly get. When it comes to a school or getting to professional baseball or anything like that, it's constantly re-upping the difficulty of the stuff that you're challenging yourself with. So number one, it's weight room. We're going to put under there, challenge yourself every day. Now, the next one, guys, just kind of couples off that, off going to the weight room, and that's nutrition. Now, I'll tell kind of a story about me. So I was a speedy center fielder. Always was a really skinny kid. When I got to Georgia Tech as a freshman, I was 153 pounds. That was my first weigh-in, 153 pounds. Most of you guys are out there thinking, how is that even possible? The reality is, like, I worked out 4 to 5 times a week, worked out very seriously. My issue was I was not eating enough calories and enough protein to actually build muscle for my frame. And my metabolism. I was a guy that I was always going to need to eat way more calories than most people, going to need to eat more protein than most people. And a lot of this information that's come out recently wasn't available when I was good in high school trying to get recruited. So I thought, I'm going to drink my protein shake and I'll just get as big and jacked as all my buddies. It didn't happen. So the reality with nutrition, guys, is what I would suggest is every day, 4,500 calories minimum. and 150 grams of protein or more. And you may think, man, Kyle, that's a bunch of protein. The calories, I was eating 6,000 calories a day when I finally figured this out and put on like 18 pounds in 3 months after my sophomore summer in college. But if you're eating 4,500 calories a day over the course of 7-8 months and 150 grams or more of protein, you're going to be seeing really big gains of muscle. I mean, you're going to look like a totally different player come February and March when the spring season starts. So the reason for the 150 grams of protein, guys, a lot of recent studies have come out that basically say, if you eat close to 100 grams of protein right after a workout, your body stays in an anabolic state longer, meaning you're building muscle and you're recovering for a longer period of time after your workout. So you're going to be fresh for that workout tomorrow, or at least more fresh than you would have been, and that muscle is really going to start to build up really quickly. So typically what a lot of people are suggesting is whatever your goal body weight is, you want to eat a gram of protein per pound of body weight that your goal is. So if your goal is 200 pounds, you want to be up there around 200 grams of protein a day. That's, a big time protein shake, eating like 5 or 6 eggs in the morning for breakfast, and then eating fairly regularly throughout the rest of your day. You should be able to hit that 150 plus grams of protein fairly easily. If you follow this, guys, this is the biggest thing. If you do both of these things 4 to 5 days a week, you are going to look like a totally different player in 8 months, 9 months. And obviously it's not going to happen overnight, but I promise you after a month of this, you're going to look down and think, man, I look like a different guy already. Can't imagine what you look like in 8 months. And what also is, don't be worried about losing a step or getting slower if you're a speed guy out there. If you're doing the proper lower body workouts, you're getting your squats in, you're getting some box jumps in, everything like that, RDLs, you will get faster as well. Your sprint speed is based on how much force you're able to put into the ground. If you're stronger in your lower half, you're going to be able to put more force into the ground. You're going to be faster. When I gained that 18 pounds my sophomore summer, I actually ran the fastest 60 of my life that fall when I got back to campus. So don't worry about that. And lastly, guys, pick out your weakness and get better at it. Now, I talk a lot to you guys and my clients about being your own coach, being able to diagnose your own game and look at, all right, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses. How do I start improving my weaknesses? Again, what's going to make you a better player right away is focusing on those weaknesses and attacking them head on. What the problem is, what most guys do is they identify a weakness. Well, my footwork's not great on ground balls. I'm a shortstop. I need to get better at it. Or, my glove work's not the best, or just my release, quick release as a shortstop's not that great. I can promise you, if you practice every day, let's just say 50 ground balls. Let's say you practice 50 ground balls where you're catching it and trying to get rid of it as fast as you can. That first week, it's going to be frustrating. You're going to make bad throws. You're going to bobble it in the glove. You're going to feel terrible about it. You're going to be like, man, I'm not that good. But 3-4 weeks later, and you've done that 5 days a week, you're going to be thinking, how did I ever think that this was this hard? And all of a sudden, it's going to get really easy. And that's when, again, we talk about you have to start upping the difficulty of other things. Ground ball speed, ground ball in the hole, ground ball up the middle, ground ball that I'm charging. Still practicing on getting rid of it as quickly as possible. The reality, guys, is the guys in the big leagues make it look so easy because they practice the most difficult plays all the time. That's something they do pregame when guys are taking BP and they're getting their ground balls in. It's not something that surprises them in the game. The reality for most of you guys is when you get a play like that, you haven't practiced it a bunch. So it is difficult. Of course it would be. But if you want to make it look easy, you got to practice those plays every day. You got to practice them as much as possible. And if you do that, again, this whole off-season goals, this whole video is about changing the type of player you are by a landslide in 8 to 9 months. And the reality is you can do that, but you got to put the work in daily. You have to commit to it, and you have to be disciplined. What sets the greatest apart from guys that are just okay is the discipline. When they wake up and don't really feel like doing it, they do it anyway because they know they've committed to doing it. I promise you guys, if you get the discipline part, set yourself up to commit to this kind of an off-season program, in 8 months, you will be blown away by the results that you get. I hope this helps, guys. I hope a lot of you guys take this to heart and get to work today and change the kind of player you're going to be 8 months from now. Look, thank you, and I appreciate you guys for supporting the video so much, and stay tuned for the next one.